A very popular and affordable way to reduce EMI is to add more grounding and via shielding to your PCB design. Here are a couple ways you can go about doing it. Once you're done doing most of your placement and routing, you can flood the top and bottom layer of your PCB design with a ground plane and then add stitching vias into it to connect everything to the internal ground planes. Let me show you how you can go about doing that. If you select the board outline here, from your right mouse button, you can do copy. And then from your right mouse button, choose paste special. You'll then get an exact copy of the board outline shape. You can then use the options panel here. I'm going to summon it to my cursor using the X key for summon. I'm going to say I want to copy that to the top layer, and I'm going to say the shape use is a conductor. So this paste special command effectively lets you pick any one object in the design, in this case a board outline, and paste it to any other object in the design, in which case a big copper shape on the top layer. So once you do that, it's automatically going to snap to the same XY location as the object that you picked to copy. And then selecting into place, you now got a copper layer on the top. You could also do the same thing again, repeat that for the bottom, and then add another copper shape to the bottom of the board. Now, for fabrication reasons, you generally want to have some sort of pullback between this copper and the edge of the board for a variety of reasons. So to accomplish that, you can go into Shape Utilities. And under Shape Utilities, you have a couple of different options to resize, merge shapes, trim corners. I'm going to focus on resizing, and I'm going to choose to contract it. So you can specify the contraction amount. In this case, I'll put in 50. And then you just need to select the shape, and it's going to go ahead and reduce the size of that shape by this particular amount. So after you add the shape, you can just select the shape, and over in the properties panel, you can pick which net you want that to be, in which case I'll choose the 0 net or the ground net. Finally, to shoot an array of vias around that board outline, you can use the add via array command. And this command gives you a couple different options. You can use trace or shape. So this will be on a single side or both sides of a trace or a shape. This is pretty useful if you just want to have a string of vias, as opposed to this array command, where if you pick this shape, it's going to shotgun vias all over that shape, which is not what we want right now. So I'll choose trace or shape. You can then specify the via to object gap. So that's how far away from that object the vias are going to be. This is how far apart the vias are going to be from each other. And you could even do, 2 rows if you wanted to, and then you can specify the row count, but in this count, I just want 1. You can pick the ground net. You can either pick it from a list, or you can choose this picker here and then just pick the ground net that you just picked already in the design. And then you can pick a via or a via structure. A via structure could be a compound collection of multiple vias and other objects. I'm going to choose via, pick the via that you want, and then select the board outline. And then what you get is a preview image. You can see all those white circles. Those represent the vias that are going to be put in place. Don't worry about the ones that look like they're going to go where you don't want them to be, like underneath this pad right here, because it will run a DRC, which is what this checkbox does, to clean up any vias that produce a DRC by adding this. So after you see the ghost image and that's what you like, for example, let's say you wanted the via to via offset to be a little bigger, you could type in 75 there, and then notice the ghost preview image updates before you click to place it, and then one click on the canvas, and then that automatically updates and places all those vias into your design. If after you record those vias, if all of a sudden you decide you want to change your mind, if you turn on only groups in the selection filter, all those vias are added and tagged as a group, so you can individually select one of them, the entire group is selected, and you can delete it or modify it as needed. Notice here, it tells you that you have 92 members in the group and all 92 of them are vias. So that's it. That was a short video on adding vias and power planes to reduce EMI. Thank you.